today. From Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. This one taken just inside the 10 and beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on some few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. And that's complete to the tight end, Devin Asiasi. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
A spin. Oh, fighting off the defender. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3-and-out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3-and-out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked so well. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 52 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Here's Jones off the play fake. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Operating from the gun, Jones. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Fielded at the 20. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, Love. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now this one complete on the slant route, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. And Love from the gun to Jefferson on the slant. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11, 1st down. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this 1st quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week. But the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Justin Jefferson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 1st quarter lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded right around the 8. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he will finally go out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play there for New England. 42 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. And that's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Jones throwing again on 2nd and 10. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Devin Asiasi, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Indy set to go on offense once more. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jones, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Jones now throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And taken right at the 35. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Now they try the right side here.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
This will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. But the focus shifts back to Daniel Jones and company. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. And that'll be incomplete. He took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's Jones from the gun on third down. And Tate's got it. He's at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on third down for the Pats. 42 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Operating from the gun, Jones looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Jones going to throw again. The quick slant caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. N'Keal Harry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots are back within a score. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
33-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They'll throw again. Here's Love on 2nd and 10. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he will bring it back and interception return for a Colts TD.
The kicker on.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Now this will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. But the focus shifts back to Daniel Jones and company. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
14.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here are the Colts to take over. They've got the lead as they begin this drive 1st and 10, trying to forget about that loss last week to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Working out of the gun. Love. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to take this down close to the first as he's brought down at the Patriots' 42. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now they try the right side here. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on all.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Is good.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. off the play fake. Jones. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Jones. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on a 6-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a handoff looking right. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. And some space here.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Barton. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the 1st sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Colts just continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Here's Robinson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Over 1st and 10. At their own 29-yard line.
The Pats at the line ready to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Back now in Foxborough. 2nd and 9 from the 44. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now Jones on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it. unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Brought down at the 20-yard line. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Love now on 2nd down. He'll buy some time right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Right back to him on 1st down. And this is going to be a Colts 1st down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
He's tackled at the...
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now they try the right side here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
16 yards, a 1st down.
And the Colts 1st down.
Operating from the gun. Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Barton. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 16 yards. A little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun. Love. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
To number 86.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
At the 9-yard line.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Escaping the pressure right. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
New England trying to get a place on offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Jones now throwing on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
It's a gain of
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
At the 34.
Here's Jones. Off play action. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught right side. Tate. The 30. 20. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at it. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
For the extra point.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And oh my, mistake there. Backs up, takes a fair catch at the 3-yard line.
At their own 3-yard line.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because
and he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Brought down back at the 19-yard line.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Scored Colts
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as